Reading from Bṛhad-bhāgavatāmṛta, Volume 1, Chapter 1, Text 5. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jayati, Jayati, vṛndāraṇyam etan Murāri. Priya-tamam ati-sādhu-svānta-vaikuṇṭha-vāsāt. Ramayati sadā pālayan yatra gopīs. Svarita-madhura-veṇur vardhayan prema rāse. All glories to this place where we are living. This is Sanatana Goswami speaking. He's speaking from Vṛndāvana. So jayati, jayati. What is coming is the super excellence. All glories to this place where we are living. Lord Murāri's Vṛndāvana forest. He prefers residing here to residing in Vaikuṇṭha or in the hearts of elevated saints in Vṛndāvana while always tending his cows. He gives pleasure to the gopīs whose love for him in the mood of the rāsa dance he increases by sweetly playing his flute. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksur Unmalatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the introduction to the Bṛhad-bhāgavatāmṛta, which is really the first Goswami literature. Prabhupada said after he left, so many duties can be given, but commentate. I just say commentating on the Bhagavatam wasn't ordinary. Because to comment on the Bhagavatam and to write transcendental literature, it's inspiration, perspiration, inspiration. Satsrup Maj once told me, quoted that, I don't know, maybe I read it in writing. Inspiration, you have to have some realization. Then perspiration is you one second. So you have to have some realization. And realization means not just understanding the truth, seeing the truth. So it's not ordinary. And he's gotten that task from Lord Chaitanya that you should present bhakti. And he does it in such a incredible way, because realization means to, Prabhupada said in the 4th chapter of the 1st canto, that realization means to communicate. Because communication, I've mentioned this many times, it entails shaping the message. It entails shaping the message to fit the frame of reference of your audience. And to do that without losing the message. We get the message in a particular form, and it's easy to repeat this. You're not the body. Prabhupada said, it's easy to repeat it, but as important as speaking the truth is having the truth understood. So that depth of understanding, we actually see something and out enables you to reform it according to the audience. So it's an immense task, because to realize Krishna is not just the intellect. I always mention knowing a person is not just one more second. I just have to get one more thing. I'm sorry for the disturbances today. Understanding a person, you can't understand a person just by analysis. By love, you inspire the person to reveal themselves to you. So you just can't be a scholar and write about Krishna. You have to be a devotee. And you have to be, and what to speak of what he's going to write about, which is the most intimate aspect of God, and the devotion required to actually have a relationship with that aspect of God, which in Sanskrit is very beautiful. He says it's parama. We know some of these words. Parama, the top, the Shah, stage, antam, the end of the top stage. So what's happening here is he has to get some mercy to do this. And you have to be in the mood of getting mercy to understand this. You not have to only get something, but even if it comes, you have to be in the mood to actually understand it. And therefore, prayers are an essential prerequisite for speaking on the absolute truth, because they put you in a certain mood that enables you to position yourself in relationship to the absolute truth. If you have ego, which means you artificially occupy the center, you don't see the center. You have to step out in the periphery. Prayers is that, in a sincere way, prayers is that process of being in a position to feel mercy, but not only having the consciousness to inspire God to give you that realization. And I mentioned this many, many times. We're very hesitant to give our heart to someone. We want to give our hearts, but we've been burned so many times in this world. So we don't want to give our hearts, because if people have our hearts, they can exploit us in so many ways. So this is taking an extraordinary amount of devotion. And in his brilliance as a in his brilliance as a communicator, this message he's going to present in a story. I just got this volume by Shivaram Swami called Srila Kushmanjali. It's a very, very deep book. Vilap, Lamentations, Kushmanjali, offering Kushmanjali is offering a bouquet of lamentations. It's a very most inner mood of Manjari Bhav. And he takes great leeway in filling in the dialogue in a creative way. So that the first volume is, I don't know, it's about 600 pages or something, but he has to defend himself at the beginning. Can he take such leeway? And he makes a very, very strong case. It's a hard sell, but it's a very, very strong case. One thing he mentioned is Prabhupada said the ability to communicate. And I really appreciated the book, and I gave him a handwritten note, which I know he appreciated because he sent it to some of his confidential people. And I sent a verse from the CC where Ramananda Roy is telling Rupa Goswami and Lord Chaitanya after hearing his poetry that you can't explain rāsa without literary, poetics and literary ornaments. It's very hard to communicate it. So Sanatana Goswami, in his desire to give this, he presents, which as far as we know is history, but he presents this incredible novel of two people ascending to the absolute truth. One is Narada Muni, looking for the topmost recipient of Krishna's mercy. And he's sent on this journey because each person will say, no, me? No, him. Me. And it keeps on like that. It keeps on going. I'm not. Go to him. So you get this gradation. And then the story of Gop Kumar, who meets his guru in Vṛndāvana. Gop Kumar is just a cowherd boy. In Vṛndāvana, in Gokul Vṛndāvana, he meets his guru initiates him, gives him the Gopal mantra, and then disappears. And then that carries him on a spiritual journey. But he's never satisfied because what he got, Sambandha Gyan, Diksha Diksha is described in the Bhakti Sandarbha, Sambandha Gyan, Bhagavat Sarup Gyan. You get, at least in a seed, your relationship with Krishna and Bhagavat Sarup Gyan, the form of God. So he keeps saying he's not satisfied until he goes to Goloka. So this is meant to, in our tradition, Gaudiya Vaishnavism, this story is meant, these stories, because there's 2 volumes, is meant to show Parama Dasha Antim, the topmost level of transcendence in a comparative way. But to do that, Sanatana Goswami has to humble himself. And in the purports, it's very, very nice what's explained. It's explained because he wants to do this. He offers prayers as the means to seek mercy from those who have the power to benedict him on his path. So first he explains, he offers prayers to Krishna, who descends to give his own lotus feet. Lotus feet means service. It means humility. And especially Chaitanya, who has experienced, who's more qualified, who do you need blessings more to achieve this than Lord Chaitanya? And that's where that verse, Parama Dasha Antim, who's experienced the last level of transcendence, which is the love of the gopis. It's interesting. I'll take some water. Yeah. It's interesting that Krishna consciousness in the West is so institutional, but but the core base is so esoteric. It's so esoteric. But Sanatana Goswami is going to help us understand that. And then if you need that mercy of the last level to understand the last level of transcendence and to be able to explain it, then who better to petition than the gopis? And the point that was made, and this is a beautiful point in the Parayaham, Krishna couldn't even comprehend that love is so powerful. So Sanatana Goswami is basically saying, and I'm supposed to understand this. The Parayaham, Krishna said to the gopis, there's no way I can repay you. That's how great that love is of the gopis. And then, of course, he directly prays to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and explains his position. He wants to realize the ecstasy of devotion that is greater than his own love. Krishna wants to experience the ecstasy. He takes the form and mood of Srimati Radharani to experience the ecstasy of his own bliss. We described yesterday that Radharani has 3 experiences that Krishna doesn't technically have unless you understand that the absolute truth, Krishna is Radha Krishna. But there's 3 things, and I just explained, this is Krishna, this is Radharani. She can experience Krishna. And she has, what Krishna wants is that experience of experiencing myself, experience the love of myself, and experience the happiness I feel from feeling the reciprocation of Krishna, of myself. So he prays to Radharani. And then Mathura, Shreshtam, it's the best place. It's Parama Dayata. Dayata also is a word, very dear. It's very dear to Krishna. And it's the place that dispels misfortune and gives both mukti and bhakti. So, of course, he's going to pray to the Holy Dham. And in doing this, it's showing us also where we need to go for the mercy. I explained yesterday I was very happy. It was Akshaya Tritiya, and I started my japa class. The lore LORE, is that if you start things on this day, it's going to be auspicious. This is the day that Sudama gave a piece of chip rice to Krishna because he was a poor Brahmin. He came back. You know, his palatial living was better than, you know, Vaikuṇṭha or the God of heaven. So, explain the class the importance of sitting before my deities and having the objects of my devotion to give me the mercy, because bhakti is the path of grace. It's the one path where it's not just dependent on your own capabilities. That's what mercy means. Mercy means that there's somebody who can give you, or something that can give you more than you deserve. And if you're talking about your endeavor, give you more than what you can endeavor. Bhakti is the path of grace, not the path. Well, we make an effort, but the effort is to attract mercy, not in the mood that our effort will capture Krishna. It can capture Krishna's attention. And now after Mathura, he prays to Vṛndāvana. He wants the mercy of Vṛndāvana. He says, and it's the place where we are living. And he says that with such heart. I can say that when I'm in Govardhan, the place where I'm living. I'm contemplating, in destiny is the language of God, if Krishna wants me to go back to Vṛndāvana for Purushottama Mas. But I don't really have so many obligations holding me back. Although the preaching has been really nice. We did a program at Gopīs, which is just such a incredible place for programs. It's built for programs. And we had Sri Prahlad, and I asked him to speak. And he's really legitimately one of the best kirtaniers. You can see he has attraction for the holy name, and he's inspired with how to present it. You can see there's so much experience in how he chants. And devotion, experience and devotion. And it was great. I'll just, a side note, what I like about there is, I'd say how expert my disciples have become, which is very pleasing to Krishna, Prabhupada, and me, in bringing people in. When the material world was so expert in separating people, and moving people to the margin, and excluding people and making cliques. So it's so nice. They just bring people, and they had a program Friday night in 26 2nd Avenue, and Sri Prahlad loved the program. Bringing people in, and bringing people in quickly, not like a military thing. Now you're like a private, and I'm we also used to joke when we first came, a big thing, who got the ghee lamb first after it was offered to the deities. Institutions have to have some hierarchy, but it's just everyone is, it's just nice to see that program. Anyway, he's saying the place where we are living, Krishna's Vṛndāvana forest, he prefers, why does he prefer residing here than Vaikuṇṭha, or the hearts of the elevated saints? Because it is the environment which allows him to intimately express his heart fully. It may not be in the elevated saint, because the heart of the elevated saint, he may be in a mood of reverence. So Krishna reveals himself to the elevated saint, but not the intimate side. Vṛndāvana is a special conception. When God wants intimate, he appreciates all types of relationships, as we do. You know, a father appreciates the respect of the son, that loving respect for the son. Or they may have a servant that's very respectful. There's different types of love. But when God wants to enjoy very intimate love, simultaneously, eternally, there's an environment that's manifest, and that's Vṛndāvana. And it's so sweet, right, Jack? Out there in Govardhan, it's so sweet. That mountain and the sadhus. Like that. I love going past that tea stall as you go into the ISKCON place, the tea stall. Mm-hmm. Guy loves us. He sent me some sweets the other day. I asked me at his house for prasadam. I didn't go yet. And then my friends at this tea stall, Mr. Sharma, who walks around every day. Sweet. More than Vaikuṇṭha. Of course, Vaikuṇṭha, he's the king. So he enjoys reciprocating with his devotees in reverence. But Vṛndāvana means Madhurya even more than Mathura. And therefore, what does he do? He tends cows. He tends cows. And he gives pleasure to the gopīs, whose love for him in the mood of the rāsa, he increases by playing his flute. God manifests his heart fully. That's what the flute means. The flute means that God manifests his heart fully. I always describe it like a jazz instrument. It's about your heart and announcing it to the world. I got the blues. Right? Mm-hmm. I remember I used to go to visit my father. He had a loft in an old building in Harlem where he was a dress manufacturer. He had about 30, 40 women and African-American ladies that would do the pressing. They would sing these spirituals. There was a wicked man. Oh, Lord. And they would press it. They would press the stuff, the dresses on these things, and at the same time sing. And you could see it's just their heart. And therefore, it's so sweet. That's why spirituals are just so sweet. Now, there's a verse in the Bhagavatam that says the three things that are most dear to Krishna is the Vṛndāvana forest, Govardhan Hill, Jamuna, and Govardhan Hill. So Sanatana Goswami, he's prayed to Vṛndāvana here. Now he's going to now pray to Govardhan, and he's going to pray to the Jamuna. He's just seeking the mercy. Jayati tarani putri dharma raja swasya kaliyati mataraya shakyam ati gangham murāreḥ dayata tatpada padma pasutam vahati chamakarandam nira purachalena jayati. All glories to Sri Jamuna, the daughter of the sun god and the shelter of Yamaraj. She is beloved of Krishna, the killer of Mura. Again, that word is so sweet. Dayata. Murāreḥ Dayata. Beloved of Murāreḥ, the one who killed the Mura demon. She has made friends with Mathura district and has exceeded the greatness of Ganga Devi. On the pretext of being a river, she carries the nectar flowing from Lord Sri Krishna's lotus feet. So now the Jamuna, it's just so daughter of the sun god means illumination. She gives illumination. And the sister of Yamaraj means she gives purification. I think those are the two elements of advancement in consciousness: illumination and purification. Illumination and purification. So Jamuna represents illumination and purification. It's a fact. For the first 2 years in Vṛndāvana, when I got to Vṛndāvana, Prabhupada said, the main thing is take the children to the Jamuna every day by kirtan. Right after Mangal Artik. It was beautiful. You know, the summer was quite hot, but it's nice then. And bathing in the Jamuna used to flow. It used to flow so powerfully, clean and powerful. It used to flow. So when I came, was that 40 years ago or something? You can imagine Vṛndāvana. Of course, there are other things. There are a lot of mosquitoes. That was for sure. There's a lot of disease. We didn't have filtered water, but in terms of Vṛndāvana, it was really just, I'm remembering now, the mornings. There was one car in all of Vṛndāvana. There was one phone. There was one phone in Vṛndāvana at the police station. You wanted to make a phone call, you had to book it. And I joke, but it's true. It was a Tropicana orange juice can with a piece of string to Mathura, who had to connect Delhi. You couldn't call. I remember when STD, this direct calls came, and then there were little shops that would charge you for them. It was unbelievable. But the cell phone thing, we didn't grow up like that. I remember when I first got a phone, finally, after so many years, I got my own phone. And I remember the phone number, 911. My phone number was 911. Because, you know, in those local things, I was probably a 900th person at the time to get a phone. And I remember my friend said, your whole life's a disaster. Got the phone number 911. So, made friends with Mathura district. It caresses. And on the pretext of it carries the nectar flowing from Lord Sri Krishna's feet. It's very powerful. It's so powerful. Used to bathe there. Amazing experience. I have the inclination when I have to be back in India earlier. My Vyasa Puja will be, I believe it's the 16th of September. I have to be back for visa. Because of COVID, I got a student visa. So I have to see if I want to drop that and get a regular visa tourist, but I haven't decided yet. So I have to be back there earlier. But I thought if I get back there earlier, then I would like to maybe visit Rishikesh. and bathe in the Ganga. Maybe get Vikram to take me. And visit my dear cousin, Ma Seva Bharati. She's a sannyasini, very nice. She must be 75 or 76 now. So now for Jamuna and now Govardhan. Govardhano jayati shalakuladi rajo yo gopī kabir udita haridasya varya krishnena sakramakabhanga kritarchito ya saptahamasya karapadma tale pivasi. All glories to Govardhan, the emperor of lordly mountains. First, I want to read something about Jamuna. 100 times more sacred than the Ganga, O goddess, earth, is the Jamuna in my own abode, Mathura. Bṛhad-bhāgavatāmṛta. No one need doubt this. More sacred than Mathura by 100 times is the place on the Jamuna where the Keshi demon fell. And 100 times more sacred than Keshi Tirtha is the spot nearby where Krishna rested after the demon was killed. I'll find out. That's what that is. So all glories to Govardhan, the emperor of lordly mountains. The Lord's dear gopīs called him the best servant of Hari. Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna disrupted the sacrifice for worship of Indra to worship Govardhan instead. And then the hill resided for a week on the Lord's lotus palm. Nijapati bhujatanda chatra bhavam prapadya pratihatamara driston danda devendra garva atula patula shaila shreni bhupapiyame nijanigatani vasam dehi govardhan tvam. Let me reside in Govardhan, where Krishna picked up with his left hand the hill of Indra to crush Indra's pride. So he's the best of servants, and he's the best of servants because Govardhan gives its whole body. And not only gives his whole body, it's not enough that his whole body is in the service of Krishna. Pramada mandana lila kandare kandare te rachiyati navayuno dvanvanasmin namandam iti kalakalanartam lagnakastadvayorme nijanigatani vasam dehi govardhan tvam. Pramada mandana lila. Pramada means conjugal lila. Pramada manjana lila. Pramada mandana. Pramada mandana. Mandana means Cupid. Intense pramada, like mad Cupid lila. Pramada mandana lila kandare in each and every cave. But it's not just that he gives his body to Krishna. He does it with ecstasy. Seva means not just the act of serving someone, but doing it with great love. Because if you serve and there's not great love, this is one sadhu in Vṛndāvana, I heard him give class, he said, seva, you take the seva from sevak, one who does serving, it becomes vak. And vak stands for bakasura. You're a demon. You have to have the bhav, the service, because the activity just carries the consciousness. And it's not the activity or the thing that gives pleasure, it's the consciousness that it conveys that gives pleasure. So without that consciousness, so Govardhan is not just serving and giving its whole body, but with consciousness. And therefore, if rivers flow on Govardhan, it's tears coming out of ecstasy. If grasses grow on Govardhan, it's hairs standing on end. So, in his ecstasy to glorify and beg for the mercy to communicate this devotion, this parama dasha antam, he now glorifies prema bhakti. Jayati, jayati, Krishna prema bhaktir yad angrim Nikala nigama tattvam gudham adhyaya mukti bhajyati sharanakama vaishnavascha jamana japa yajana tapasa nyasanishtam vihaya. All glories to Sri Krishna's prema bhakti. Jack, great, right? Just got out of bed there. You gotta take a little something, sit down, you get class, right? Yeah, you're here, right? All glories to Sri Krishna prema bhakti. Knowing that the feet of prema bhakti secretly comprise all the truths of the Vedas. Vedais jisarveaham eva vedyo vedanta vid veda vid evacha. Of all the Vedas, I am to be known. Nigama kalpa taro galitam phalam sukha mukha amrita dravyatam priya-tamam rāsa malayam. Nigama kalpa. The Vedas, nigama kalpa taro galitam phalam sukha mukha. Nigama kalpa taro. It's like a desire tree. And the greatest desire one could have is for happiness. And the greatest happiness is love. And the greatest love is prema bhakti. Liberation herself comes to worship her. Yeah, because liberation is actually dependent. Liberation is dependent on bhakti. You need mercy. So even a Jnani has to worship, even a karmi has to worship, even though it's all their activities and it's very mechanical. The consciousness is by these activities, I'll get a result. There has to be worship. Because you can't succeed in any form of transcendence without God's mercy. So liberation, and of course our liberation is not just attachment. It's muktir hitva yata rupam sarupena vivastita. Muktir hitva. It's not just muktir hitva yata rupam. It's not just giving up this form. We have something more. Sarupena vivastita. To be situated in our sarup. Be situated in our sarup. And indeed, liberation abandoned by the Vaishnavas, because the Vaishnavas are not seeking liberation. They're seeking to serve Krishna. Narayana parasarve. Nakutas chanya vibhyati swaga pavaga narakeshu api tulyakta darshanam. Narayana parasarve. Nakusha. One who is really loves God. Narayana parayana. Narayana prasarve nakutas swaga pavaga He doesn't care whether he's in the heavenly planets, Swaga, Pavarga, the earthly planets. Hell, he doesn't care. He just wants to serve Krishna. So the Dhanam, the Janam, the Sundarim, Kavi Tamva, Jagadisha Kamaye, Mama Janmini, Janmini Ishvri, Bhavatad, Bhakti, or Hoitaki, Tui. I just want service, birth after birth. I don't care for liberation. So the Vaishnavas have abandoned mukti. And now has given up her dependence on mantras, penance, sacrifice, and renunciation, and is eager to have the shelter of prema bhakti. She has given up. In other words, mantras means brahmacharis. Wait. What is it here? It's described here. 1 second. The students practice, householders perform sacrifice, vanaprasthas observe penance, and renounce order of life. They vow never to leave family. So she's given up on them. She doesn't give liberation for that. You can't get liberation by those things. So she's abandoned by the Vaishnavas, and she's not going to. And therefore, she's eager to take shelter of prema bhakti, which means liberation will automatically come by devotion. Okay, Drumanajaya, if you still have time before your yoga class. Are you there? Wow. Okay, anybody have any reflection they want to share?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna.
Who's that?
This is Nityangi Maharaj.
Okay, Haribo, Nityangi.
Haribo.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your very, very beautiful class. It was very beautiful for me about realization. You told realization is not just understand something, understand the truth, but you should see the truth.
Yes, thank you. How was your prasad distribution on Ramadan?
It was great, Maharaj. Actually, many days of this month, I gave out prasadam. I distribute prasadam.
Okay.
Not too much, but...
What is that sweet called?
Raj-Iran.
What's it called?
Raj-Iran.
Raj-Iran.
Iran, yeah.
They're incredible.
Oh, Maharaj.
Now, I just remember when you all came and you stayed next to me and you kept these pomegranates the size of my head in the refrigerator. And even when you left, you still left some pomegranates. And those, or maybe it was sweet lemons. So I'm going to speak to Siddheshri when you'll all come again. Okay. Thank you, Nityangi. Haribo.
Thank you so much, Haribo Maharaj.
Anybody else like to share a...
Hare Krishna Maharaj, this is Krishna-katha. Thank you so much. I love very much that it's not our activity that gives pleasure while serving, but the state of consciousness. It's so deep.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Not the activity, but the consciousness that activity carries. Thank you.
Thank
Who
you.
else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, this is Hemalata Radha.
Hi, Bo.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I was, at the beginning of the class, you mentioned that, and something that we know, but for some reason this time around, it clicked on me, is that if we don't put Krishna in the center, then, or we put ourselves in the center, then Krishna cannot be in the center. So it's like there is one place for that. So whenever we are thinking about ourselves, our needs, are like everything around us, it's impossible for us to have Krishna in the center. So that clicked on me today for some reason. Of course, there is only one spot for that.
Thank you. That's so nice. That's so
Thank
nice.
you, Maharaj. Beautiful.
We'll see you. I know we won't see you in Kali but you'll be in every couple of years. You'll make that, see your old friends. But we'll see you in Govardhan. And get in shape for that Dandavat Parikram.
Yes, Maharaj, we are working on it, and we bought yesterday our flight tickets. So,
wow.
Yes.
Okay. Is it a 3-day trip again, or it's a little shorter?
This time around is a little shorter, thank God, Maharaj.
You got to fly to Buenos Aires, right?
Yes. No, from here we drive to Buenos Aires. 4 hours.
Oh, that's
and then
okay.
from there we fly. Yes.
Where does that go?
We go to Brazil, then Istanbul, and then Delhi. We're far, Maharaj.
Okay. Anyway, but you can come.
Yes, Maharaj, you're happy.
You are. Haribo.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for the class.
Okay, great. Okay. Anybody else like to say hello?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Tota Gopinath here.
And Kishore Radha.
Tota, maybe call me after the class.
Okay.
To talk about the DMV.
Gotcha.
Okay, and tomorrow. Okay. Anybody else?
Haribo.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Haribo. Where is Yavid Sundari?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Okay.
Sorry. This is Surya Radhika. Yeah, my mom, we came to Tehran and my mom just went to airport just a few hours ago. Yeah,
okay.
Maharaj, I brought the Rajiran Swiss to Tehran, and I went to the a place that we were practicing yoga, and it was a group of yoga people. So I distributed the sweets there, and everyone loved it. So I was happy to give them for sadam. And then we did some music, mantra and things, and I introduced it. So I know it's a bit dangerous, but I did some harmonium and singing for them. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Haribo. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hey, Kirtan. Haribo.
Haribo. Nice to see you and spend some time with you this morning. Thank you for such a nice class.
I'll just make a joke that only you'll understand.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm looking at your picture, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe that Alan Burke is tuning into my show.
All right. You need to do a Google search on Alan Burke and then look at images. I don't know if your memory of Alan Burke's beard is exactly right.
Well, okay. All right. Anyway, I like to...
I will take it as a compliment just the same.
Okay. Any reflections on the class?
It was nice to hear you speak about the importance of not only hearing, but being able to repeat what you hear in your own words in a way that is nice, that is suitable for the favorable reception of those to whom you are speaking, and how an actual taste for hearing has to go with any information that one gathers, as well as how our actions are not themselves qualifiers. They're just meant to attract Krishna's attention so that hopefully we will be the recipients of mercy and therefore be able to have our hearts purified and our consciousness elevated to a degree far beyond what anything we could possibly achieve on our own endeavor.
Wow, that's great. That's a nice summary. Thanks, Hari Kirtan.
Thank you, Maharaj. Haribol.
Haribol. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Namaste here.
Namaste, give my regards to your sister.
Thank you so much, Shanita. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, thank you. Haribol. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, this is Lal Govinda. Thank you for class.
Yeah, Lal. In 2 Sundays, we'll do a Jai Jagannath on myself. So the people like you and Jack and Tota that work on Saturdays can have a nice program.
Oh, good. Looking forward to it. The Saturdays are hurt.
Okay, Haribol.
Haribol.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Amala, thank you for class.
Nice to see you down there yesterday, huh?
Oh, it's wonderful to be there. Feel so blessed.
It takes about 3 hours.
What was that? I'm sorry?
Takes you about 3 hours?
Yeah, a little under, like 2 hours, 40 minutes or so, depending on traffic.
Okay.
Thank you.
The city should be even closer, right? About 2 hours.
I think it's about the same because you hit more traffic in the city typically.
Probably not so bad getting out, you know.
No. Should be fine.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Samuel. Haribol. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Amala, Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Not sure about Thursday because Milan's husband is out and she can't translate. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Haribol, nice to see you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Looks exactly like him, doesn't it? All right, Kirtan, are you still there?
Yes, sir, I am.
That's Alan Burke.
Yeah, I was thinking of the other guy who had the Van Dyke set up. Not Alan Burke, but who's the other one? Anyway, I stand corrected.
Okay, that's Alan Burke. Okay, slight resemblance.
It's close enough. I was thinking about the other late night guy on Channel 5. I just can't remember his name right now, but I had a picture of him in my head.
Okay. He was pretty handsome, so it was okay.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll take that. Anyway, better looking than Joe Pine, that's for sure.
Oh, Joe Pine. People don't know how much fire we're in.
Yeah. This is enough inside baseball for one Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Gail.
Gail, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I felt that because I couldn't make it, but I had wedding saver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and there was.
But don't say anything that's going to twist the knife in the wound, Maharaj, please.
That's going to what?
Twist the knife.
Okay, I won't talk about the
thing you.
I won't talk about that guy didn't bring that pasta. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, what's your reflection, Gail?
Well, I mean, I liked everything. I always like, as was already mentioned, the fact that, our love is carried by our actions, by the mediums, It's not the medium itself, it's I always like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy to speak on this Bṛhad-bhāgavatāmṛta, I think it's the right thing for me to speak on. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Gail.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. This is Isabel.
Oh, Isabel. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yesterday was a wonderful program. It's just every time I go, I just feel closer and closer to the devotees and you and Krishna and everything else. And I just wanted to really thank you and everyone else that helps to put these programs together and to let everyone know that they really do magic for people. I'm
just amazed how nice they create community. They bring everyone in, you know?
Yes, exactly.
There's no outsiders. It doesn't matter ethnicity or, you know, if you don't have to have tattoos.
I'm okay with tattoos.
No, I'm just saying everybody's just brought in. It doesn't matter if you're completely new.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah, and everybody's so wonderful and welcoming and just really appreciative of that.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
But I hope Gail's not listening now.
I thought Gail was visiting Lord Shiva yesterday, and that's why she didn't come.
You see, even though I didn't want you to twist the knife, you got somebody else to do your dirty work for you.
What's she saying?
She didn't want anyone to twist the knife, so you got somebody else to do her dirty work.
Well, but Gail, do you like my mother's logic?
You know,
God,
it's so amazing that you said that, because I really wanted to say that the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. I really wanted to say that.
I just wanted to use Jewish mother logic. Oh my God, I thought you were dead. Okay.
Yeah.
It was obvious, and you're supposed to say, are there any other possible alternatives by the evidence available?
I know. I just dropped the ball on that, but it occurred to me.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. This is Ksenia.
Hare Krishna. Good. When I see you, I want to come to Russia, but it just doesn't seem the karma is there now, because there's so many nice people I know there, you know, and it would be great. But anyway, I really always almost thinking, because I have a visa, you know, I have a visa, so I'm always thinking I'll go, and you know, but then I think, you know, maybe it's not even. I look. There's no airplanes to go there. You really have to find out even how to get there. You know. Yeah. Okay. At least for America. Okay. Thank you. Nice to see you. Haribo. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. I'm going to look at the list of the people that are there. So I see all the nice people that have come to the class, and I thank you all. It's great. Okay. Okay, we'll head out now. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyas Chakra.